Hey guys, Brandon Freeze Laser here, and today I'm going to be giving you a deck profile of the deck I talked about yesterday. Now, some of you in the comment sections of that video had thought I was going to make a reptilian deck, and it's semi-true and basically not true. There are reptilian monsters in this deck, but basically there's only two reptilian monsters in this deck, Naga and Vaskii. And when I saw Vaskii, I got really excited because I forgot that was her effect. That her effect was you could take two monsters with 0 attack from anywhere on the board, tribute them, and special summon her from your hand, and then she gets to destroy something that's face up for free, or a monster that's face up for free, with no repercussions. She doesn't lose her attack phase. You don't have to discard anything, all that good stuff. So basically, it runs Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, Allure, Book of Moon, Mind Control, Darkhold, the basic stuff. Scapegoats to get out Vaskii, quickly, I guess. Not quickly, but, to give you some tokens, some 0 tokens to get her out. Pot of Avarice, because you will be dumping a lot in this deck. Or you'll just be, setting cards, and your opponent will kill them, giving you some kind of advantage or something like that. Foolish Burial is for, obviously, Dandylion, Treeborn Frog, and any cards that you want to put in the graveyard to bring out Dad or Grandsoil. Lightning Vortex is, you can dump whatever you want for this, but I would suggest dumping a Grandsoil that you got too early, a Vaskii that you got too early, a Treeborn Frog, or a Dandelion, because all those are going to give you benefits later in the game. If it's like an emergency situation, then yeah, I would just dump anything, whatever, but basically, yeah. And obviously Mysticals. Dark Cores. I really like Dark Core because it banishes. It does not destroy. Yeah, it is a minus. You're going to minus no matter what with this card. Well, I guess not really if you use Dandelion. If you use Dandelion, you're going to get tokens. And if you use Treeborn Frog, you'll get them back later. So you'll break even. But the reason I like this card is because in a pinch, it can get rid of something that can't be destroyed. Such as, Zenmaines or Stardust. Okay. The trap lineup is very simple. It's just 2 Threatening Roars to protect basically Naga, and pretty much only Naga, because you want Card Trooper to die at some point. You want Dandylion to die. Gardna protects himself with his effect, but Naga during your end phase puts herself into attack mode. So yeah, your opponent's monsters are going to become 0, but you're still going to take the damage. So you want to either have 0 Gardna on the board with her, so you take no battle damage, or you want to have a Threatening Roar so you can set up for Vaskii. And Dimension Slices, because you will be special summoning a lot in this deck. You will be Synchro summoning, Annexing summoning out Dad, summoning out Vaskii, summoning out Grandsoil. So there you go. You will notice that I only have 7 Earths in the whole deck. 2 Card Troopers, 1 Dandelion, 2 0 Gardnas, and 2 Grandsoils. This is like a perfect number, essentially. 6 to 7 Earth monsters is like the number you want if you're running Grandsoil, because even if you get like all of your little guys in your graveyard, that's 5. And that's the only amount of Earths that you need. You'll never go over 5. You'll never be under 5 if they're all in there. So, but if your opponent figures out what you're doing, then they'll probably DD Crow or something like that. Okay, so basically, what this deck tries to do is bring out Nagas, bring out Snowman Eaters, bring out 0 Gardnas, Scapegoats, and bring out Vaskii. Grandsoil is a secondary win condition to Vaskii and Dad and Gorz. I really like Vaskii a lot. She has a lot of potential, but unfortunately, this deck falls apart to Glad Beasts and Heroes. Those decks just rip me to shreds. Heroes just has too many options. You can just, this deck is full of all the colors essentially except fire, and Heroes just is able to use Super Poly to its advantage way too well. That deck is basically tier 0. So, and Glad Beasts don't stay on the board. So, when a Glad Beast hits you, they just go right back into the grave, back into the deck, and then bring out something else to give them advantage or whatever. It wasn't a total massacre against Glad Beasts. It just was they were taking away my advantage via making them monster 0, so I could bring out Vaskii. But essentially, those 2 decks are the biggest problem. Gadgets and Geargias are kind of an issue because they have so much advantage also, but not really. This deck doesn't have as much trouble with them as Hero, and Glad Beast. But I mean, I don't know who really is playing Glad Beast right now. I'm not really sure, if Glad Beast is like a major option. But I know everybody's running Heroes, and Heroes is a big issue for this deck. So, that's a problem. I just want to make another small note. Essentially, the Snowman Eater is for Thunder Kings. Thunder King has 19 attack. Snowman Eater has 19 defense. I'm sure those of you who know basically about the meta know that Snowman Eater is a really good card to go against Thunder King. Now, what's cool about this deck is that you really don't have to worry about Thunder King besides the special summoning aspect of it. You're not going to really search your deck too much beyond Sangan. So, Foolish Barrier dumps from the deck to the graveyard, so it doesn't add it to your hand, so you're pretty good there. Card Trooper draws, all that stuff. So it's pretty good in that aspect. Yeah, and basically the major weakness of this deck, I would say, is drawing all your big guys in the first turn. But hopefully you'll have something to discard them with, like Dark Core or Lightning Vortex. You can also play trade-ins because there's so many level 8s in the deck. I just didn't like drawing trade-ins without having a level 8 in my hand. It caused issues. It would become a dead draw because I would have dumped monsters for something else earlier in the deck. That's why I like Dark Core or Lightning Vortex, because any card could become ammunition for those cards. And let's look at the extra deck now. This is pretty average looking, I guess you could say, for a Synchro deck. I only put a couple Exceeds because most of my monsters are level 3, so I'd be bringing out Zen mains. I do have 0 Gardna, so I could mind control over level 4 to make that Jin. I don't remember his name, but he's pretty cool. I use him pretty proficiently when I needed to. Somebody had some big monsters on the boards, so I put them face down so I could do other things like Naturia Beast, put it face down so I could activate spells. I put one big eye because there are level 7 monsters in this deck, and just in case you get both a Gorz and a Dad out, or your opponent has something out and you can mind control when you bring out Dad, use your Dad and then go into big eye, steal another monster. It's a pretty cool combo. But as you can see, most of the synchros are very small. You have Catastor, Armory Arm, Psychic Magician, TG Librarian. Because most of the monsters in this deck are 1 star, and most of the synchros, most of the tuners are 3 to 4 stars. Debris Dragon can only make dragons, so you're gonna want to use a lot of your 1 stars to make Stardust and Scrap Dragon and Black Rose. But Gale can make other things with other monsters. You can mind control or use your tokens or whatever you have on the board to make bigger stuff. That's why I have TG Librarian in there, because you will probably be synchroing a little often, or kind of often. So that's pretty cool. This deck can also run Plague Spreader Zombie, because of basically Debris Dragon's ability to bring him back from the graveyard, or Monster Reborn. You can also run Junk Synchron in this deck. It does basically the same thing. And that's about it. I think this deck's really fun. I like to play it. It does lose, more often than I would like it to, but that's what happens when you build new decks. They'll either be ridiculously powerful or garbage. And this one's like in the middle. I think it has potential. I just haven't really found the right combination of things to play it. I don't want to run a full-on reptilian deck. I really like Vaskii. I really like Naga, and they work well together. There's a lot of cards in this deck that have a lot of really neat interactions, and that's what I like most about the deck. I will be posting a deck list in the description box if you want to run the deck, or whatever. I don't really care if anybody uses this deck. It's a deck. So there you go. If you want to use it, that's fine. If you don't want to use it, whatever. In the comment section below, basically, if you're going to criticize the deck, try to be constructive. Don't just say it's garbage just because. I mean, I basically have my opinions on the deck already, so you don't need to be negative. But if you have positive feedback or, constructive feedback, then that will be appreciated. I will be posting my Twitter also in the description box. And as usual, you can subscribe here on YouTube. And if you liked the video, you can like the video too. And that's about it. So thanks for watching.